A GM.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty well.
It is a good day. I think so,
Less
at least.
cold. Is it less cold up by you as well?
It's less cold. It's the second snow day in a row here. So yeah, my apartment is definitely not as quiet as it normally is, but no, it's good. Yeah, it's definitely not freezing anymore. And yeah, there's an absolute metric fuck ton of snow on the ground. How about up there? Down there, up there.
Down here, there is a yard fuck ton of snow on the ground. Not a metric fuck ton. See,
you guys in your imperial measurement system.
I didn't even remember what it was called. My brain was going, wait, what's our thing called? I know theirs is metric. Let me just say yard because I think they'll understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Imperial. Man, could we have a more colonial name for our standard of measurement?
Seriously.
I mean, Jesus.
You know what? Your standard measurement is better for some things. Metric does suck for certain things, but the kilometer is a nice, tidy idea.
Yeah, like I've always contended, we say 9 inches here in America. What would you say up in Canada?
Yeah, 9 inches, honestly.
There you go. See?
We don't. The centimeter is too small of a measurement to, like, I don't understand. Like, most Europeans are gonna kill me because they actually do like say their height in centimeters or whatever, right? But like 100, I'm 174 centimeters is not quite as.
What are they gonna kill you with? The guns that are banned in all their countries? Shout out! I don't even. You are not gonna believe.
You're contained in your little.
You are not gonna believe what happened on 11 Spaces the other day. You can't even write this stuff. Some lady from Florida calls in, like totally off on some weird, like in her own,
That's why you guys
tangent.
Call it call-ins too.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And she starts talking about, I'm cool and I'm such a peaceful person, except for my gun. My brother gave me one of his guns and I would never hurt anybody, but if anyone came in my house, I'd shoot them in the fucking head. The whole room went like quiet. Nobody knew what to say.
Did she know what spaces she was in?
Like that was
this topical, or did she just get up here and be like, so?
The host was like, thanks, kicked her out of the Spaces, kicked her off the stage, and it was a special moment,
guys.
It was a special moment.
That's funny. No, I mean, I'm you know what? As a Canadian, I actually really do. I love America. We give it such a bad. Canadians and Americans have a rivalry here, but like I have had nothing but pleasant experiences when I've gone down there. And maybe it's the areas that we were in or whatnot. But I gotta say, when we were down in Arizona a couple years ago before the world went to shit, I would say I had more really pleasant experiences with just random people than you do in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like just people being helpful. We were going to get a rental car and we were having some issues with it, and we kept having to lug our bags back and forth between desks and rooms and stuff like that. And like a guy that was like being taken care of at a desk, like a customer of Hertz, like stopped his check-in process, like ran across and helped me. And I was like, you never fucking get that in Canada, honest to God.
Honey, look over there. I think there's some Canadians. I think
the poor Canadians. Yeah, they don't know what's going on down here. Fancy car rentals. No, it was just like there was so many experiences like that where people were like just like very kind, and like
you hear that about New York.
Get that reputation. No,
right.
You don't. New York.
You do. Everyone says New Yorkers are rude, but if you really stop for a second, okay. We'll say, fuck off. No,
please.
Right? Yeah, fuck off, please. It's not. New Yorkers are a special bunch. We like the Yankees. Go Yankees.
Cool.
Go Yankees.
Well, GM to everybody, thanks so much for showing up. Love seeing the GMs in the chat. If you haven't said GM yet, make sure you do. We'll appreciate you being in here. It is 9:35. You ready to get this bad boy going? Nailed it. Yeah, actually, now that we don't hit the record button beforehand, you get that in every time. I'm happy for you. GM,
Amazing.
everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday, January 18th edition of the AM Morning Show, hosted live on YouTube. I am your host, R2DGen, and I am joined with me, as always, by Mr. Free Market Capitalist.
Hey, now.
I'm hitting random buttons by accident here while I was doing the intro, and I fucked everything up. But yeah, hey, now, how are you doing today? It was Monday was pretty eventful behind the scenes for us, and I really didn't do any degenning. How about you?
Yeah, it was a very busy day for me, but there are quite a few projects we're working on behind the scenes, so it was mainly dominated by that. But it makes me very excited for what's coming up here over the next few weeks and months. Builders have been building, people, and it's coming to fruition now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's a lot going on. Do you want to get into it very delicately? I just want to give a big shout out to Drip Cult, who made the first purchase of a pretty good NFT project that's coming up.
Yeah, so Star Wolves had a pretty special event last night during the Wolf Moon. So if you don't know the internals of the Discord there, which still can be a little hard to get into, and again, this is by design, this is ramping up slowly. I don't want anyone to feel like they're really missing out on anything. But uh, last night, the first 10 of 100 Genesis Wolves finally ascended to the stars and were minted last night. And there was a raffle in the Council of Elders, which is a gated area you must earn your way up to in that Discord. And they got to enter this raffle for the first 10. So we are really excited about what's happening over there. You're going to see over the next few weeks as we unfold slowly and build up to something I think everyone is going to be super excited about. And I just want to reiterate that nobody has missed anything. We are doing this with the utmost care for community, and we do want to ramp up slowly and do things correctly. So we can't wait to see everybody in there. And just huge shout out to Charlie. What a big night last night, and he executed flawlessly. So.
Yeah, it is really incredible learning this whole process and the things that go on and how much goes into, something that isn't just a quick copy paste cash grab. No disrespect for any of those projects. Should I pull the first 10 up on the screen? I mean, it's public. It's not a secret. But these were the ones that we ended up raffling off, and they will be assigned to a wallet and put up for a private sale. So we are super fucking pumped that this is really starting to come to fruition. And like you said, I mean, Charlie is the man behind this, and he is just absolutely crushing it day in and day out. So yeah, I mean, I think it's important. The one thing that you said is that, like, don't feel like you're missing out on anything. This is a slow build up and a project that we have lots and lots and lots of plans for. So
Yeah,
I'm just saying these weren't being minted like publicly. These were minted privately, and they're being assigned a sale for a couple of winners. So this is going to be a bit of a slower process, but we'll have more on that, and we'll hopefully maybe one day can get Charlie up here or something.
No, I believe we can break a little bit of that. We are going to have the first Star Wolves interview in our Discord on this show. There's going to be some really awesome things there. Charlie is going to come on. I will not reveal the exact date yet, as we are hammering that out. But yeah, stay tuned. It will be this week, and we are looking forward to that.
Yeah, super exciting. Did you get up to anything else yesterday? I already asked you if you did any DGen plays, but not really. I don't know. It seemed maybe it was just an attention being a little bit elsewhere, but it seemed like yesterday might have been a little bit quieter too.
Well, there were a few mints. Some of them got derailed. I think we'll talk about Stapleverse a little later today. And derailed isn't quite the right word. I actually think they ended up doing something better than what would have occurred. And gas was pretty low yesterday. It was under 100 a lot of times yesterday, and coming into today, it seems to be persistently under there overnight. That allowed me to do a few gaming actions in some on-chain games that I do. So I took advantage of that. I didn't mint anything new. I did bridge. I've been minting some allies for orcs that I didn't have a chance to bridge over. I bridged some allies. I've been taking advantage of low gas in that way. And also just happily watching my looks here as a newly minted looks max.
Yeah, I want to talk about looks real shortly, but yeah, seeing gas under 100 is a pleasant surprise these days. But seeing it consistently around there without anything going is encouraging too. Definitely, lessens the barrier to entry on NFTs, especially the cheaper ones. I mean, if you're spending 10 ETH on a doodles, I don't think that you care that you're paying 0.03 or 0.05 or whatever it is. But yeah, when you're toiling down in the low caps, it definitely makes a difference because it sets you back right off the hop. So yeah, I mean, low gas and ETH trading sideways, which we can actually just get into right now, is seemingly been good for the NFT economy. Again, Ethereum kind of retracing back to 3,100, Bitcoin 4,100 or 41,000. Sorry, 4,100 would be a nightmare event in this world. But Cardano's been on a bit of a run over the last 7 days. There seems to be some action in there, but I mean, it really has not performed as well as a lot of the other coins like Solana, Ethereum over the last year. And it just kind of seems to go through these little mini excitement cycles, and they always seem to be 3 years away from being 3 years away. So, I mean, Cardano's kind of inconsequential, but it's just the one kind of top 10 crypto that's having a good week. Terra doing all right too. Sideways though. Yeah.
Yeah, yep. We're in this range. We are now bearish again. The chart has definitely turned bearish, and it's implying we could probably see anywhere from 2,800 to 3,000. I do think there's support there, but at the same time, any type of, I would not be surprised to see one of those classic crypto flushes at some point. It may not be now, but it could certainly happen. And I would expect it to be very short lived and us to be quickly back in this $3,000 to $5,000 range in short order.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the global crypto market staying above 2 trillion is always nice too. That's a nice big number to kind of hold on to. So yeah, let's keep that going. Let's talk about LooksRare now. Again, I mean, we have been kind of like fawning over this project nonstop on this show. This one is a little bit of a different conversation, and I just wanted to give some like words of warning to people, and actually wondering if anybody else had the same experience. I did go to collect my WETH yesterday with the specific intent of reinvesting it into the Looks token, along with a little bit more profits from some other trades, and just kind of get that staking and compounding, going a little bit faster there. When I did it, I ended up getting an error on MetaMask saying that like the harvest failed. I wasn't sure if I just clicked something wrong, and I really, you shouldn't just let's just try it again. But of course, I did just try it again, and it failed a second time. It did end up costing me 0.05 in ETH after I actually looked at what these transactions were costing me, and of course, the WETH is still locked up. So a little bit of a frustrating experience on their Discord with not getting an answer. But I mean, I'm not going to be in there posting every 20 seconds being like, can the devs do something? I know that there's a lot going on there and they are building behind the scenes, but I don't know if anybody else has had a similar experience in doing that. It was some kind of gas related gas limit error. I never changed that function in MetaMask, but I'm wondering if MetaMask is quoting the wrong amount and causing it to gas out. So maybe somebody technically minded can help me out with that, and maybe I've fucked something up on my end. But just a word of caution if you're using LooksRare, that has been a bit of a common thing.
Do you have that Etherscan contract?
Yeah. I will. You know what? I'll post it in the DGen dojo.
I'm sure Icon or Lucas can look at it and see what the issue is. I definitely like your strategy here. And I was even thinking to myself the other day, I'm like, oh, I want to see how high I could stack this WETH, but the WETH isn't really working for you there, right? So you might as well wait for a low gas period. And I was actually going to test what R2 said right now, but for some reason we briefly spiked to 200 GUI here. So I'll wait till we fall back under 100, but I'll try to claim my WETH. And then I'll convert it to looks on Uniswap and stake it on the show. If gas falls under 100, we'll see if the same thing happens to me. I'll quote what my gas limit is and stuff before I press it. So we know this can happen often where a contract, and we've seen it on a lot of mints, is poorly written, sets the gas limit too low, and your transaction fails even when you send it at the recommended gas. So maybe that's what's happening here. The only thing I'll say is you would think a lot of people would be talking about this because it's such a popular play. And I bet there are people who have tried to take their WETH already. So I'm wondering why I haven't seen any of these issues on Twitter. We will find out. When gas falls below 100, I'll try.
There's definitely some of those issues flying around if you go specifically into their bugs channel. Other thing I want to say too is be careful. I mean, this is just standard Discord practice. It did not almost get me, but I did. I could see that it would get somebody. Is that I posted an issue in their Discord about having some problems transacting, and of course, one of the devs added me as a friend on Discord. Me being the good Discord Samaritan that I am, I did check their ID against the one that was actually listed in the Discord under, the official devs area on the members side of it, and it was not the same one. So as a good practice, make sure that if you are asking for help on a Discord server or anything like that, and one of the, air quoting devs reaches out to you in DMs, that it is actually the same dev, because that's when you get into those issues about, oh, just share your screen so I can see what you're looking at, blah, 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 blah. Change your MetaMask to Arabic and click on this button. You know what I mean? Like it was almost immediate too. So I mean, people are trolling those help areas in Discords looking for an easy victim. So Be careful.
Standard practice in the Discord world is that mods or admins will never contact you. Most of them will let you contact them.
Yeah, they'll say in a public setting, like, shoot me a friend request and DM me.
Right. They're open to speaking with you. It's just as a security rule, they will, as good practice, hopefully, they will never contact you first, as that's a very easy social engineering scam for a con artist to pull off. So
yeah, definitely. The other thing that I wanted to mention when you were talking about, the WETH isn't working for you and whatnot. One of the things that I didn't realize is this 760% that it's at right now. It does fluctuate. APR does include the WETH that you are generating. So it is assuming that you are kind of putting it back into that to get that full compounding effect too. So
it is, but that well, no, because what time schedule would it assume you're doing that on? Maybe it's factoring it in.
I don't know, but yeah, you can look at it, right?
It's
in
the
looks APR
earning.
and the WETH. Yeah.
Right. It's not assuming you're compounding, but it's factoring it into your total APR.
I guess so. Yeah. Oh, so even if you're compounding it back into your looks, it's
even better.
Higher.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
There you go. Okay. Cool. Math good. All right.
I'm notoriously bad at the maths, but I caught that one.
Yeah. No. Okay. I take it back. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, I think that is the play. If you have any long-term aspirations about Look, I think we're both on the same page. Like, I just want to let this ride for a year and see what happens, right? Like, without removing anything from it, unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah. I see the major bear case, if there is one, as another competitor with a similar model and a better UI. Not necessarily stealing anything, but it's just it becomes dilutive, right? If 100 models popped up like this and everyone dropped the tokens, I don't know. we'll see. I'm coming every time I come up with a bear case. I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know.
This play to me just feels like that one that you're gonna look back on in a year ago and go, "Fuck, why didn't I do it?" It just seems so obvious, right? And
And I mean,
there's dozens of those that you can look back on, and you can't capitalize on anyone, but like everyone, but like this is my I am not going to go a year from now going like, why the fuck didn't I just hold on to that?
because these are literally like shares. This is unlike any other token that's ever been airdropped. You own shares in this company. You're a part owner in this marketplace. I guess the bear case is this marketplace doesn't succeed. Well, they're
Or the
already
market
kind
doesn't
of
succeed. Ooh, no.
yeah, no, true. Yeah, of course. I mean, let's say we're wrong about the NFT trend and we're of course, yeah, there's your, there's your bear case. But I would say as long as NFTs, continue to be adopted by the masses this year, and as long as looks continues to be more appealing than OpenSea, especially iteratively improving their UX and UI as we go along, it seems like a very, very good bet to me. So I'm leaving mine staked, and I am going to do what you did. I'll be claiming my WETH when it's we're under. Let me try right now. We're at 85.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to move on to the next topic because, contrary to popular belief, this show is not sponsored by LooksRare.
We would take a sponsorship. That does not preclude us. If you're listening, Pranksy.
Yeah. Well, let's reach out. This isn't specifically crypto or NFT news, but it does kind of fall in line with some of the conversations that we've been having recently. And oh my God, Routers is an awful website. What is going on here? Anyways, the headline is Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard in a $70 billion deal. This is, a top 5, one of the FANG companies. Is Microsoft part of FANG? I don't. What's the Microsoft there? Doesn't acronym there? Microsoft. Anyways, they're up there. They're a $1 trillion company.
Yeah, they've changed it to like Phenemang to fit everybody in there, but whatever.
For those of you not in gaming, Activision Blizzard is like probably the biggest gaming company in the world. Electronic Arts and like Take-Two, Rockstar are right up there too. Activision Blizzard, you'll definitely have heard of Call of Duty. That is one of their IPs. You want to talk about World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch is one of the biggest esports games going on. And this is just kind of in line with Take-Two purchasing Zynga last week. These gaming companies amalgamating and kind of putting their forces there. Microsoft's a pretty I don't want to say crypto friendly, like crypto aware. They don't seem anti-crypto or seem to be shutting anything down like that. Microsoft, of course, owns Minecraft as well, which, we've talked about Critters a whole lot. But I do wonder if some of these acquisitions and deals, we're going to see these big tech companies start to point their ship in the direction of Web3. And this just stood out to us as one of those, like maybe something there. Of course, Microsoft owns the Xbox, and this is a lot of IP that they can, get exclusivity on and all of that good shit too. But I would just be watching for this. I don't know if you have any strong feelings about it. You're the one that brought it to my attention. I didn't see it this morning.
Well, my unsophisticated gamer take is that PlayStation is in trouble. I mean, I don't know much here, but I just reading the tweets in response to this seems like a pretty big deal. And, R2 explained to me during the pre-show that they have the most important IP in gaming. I mean, period. When he went through the list of what it was, I knew all these games and I don't know gaming, right? So they obviously 70 billion. It's funny to me because this is a $70 billion acquisition, and it always shows me how small crypto is, right? Because we talk about oh my God, nosebleed heights of a 10 billion or a 20 billion or a $30 billion market cap. And yes, in the terms of these governance tokens, which have all proven to be Ponzi's up until this point, maybe because you're ascribing a huge value to something that has none. But in the terms of what a market can be in the modern, world at this time, there's so far to go for legitimate crypto, right? And this was a $70 billion acquisition. What it's telling me is that there is now consolidation happening within the gaming industry. You saw this happen in the energy industry right before oil started to rocket, right? These are things that happen within industries when really large changes are happening. And I think that while there's no crypto in these headlines, I absolutely think this is implicative of the metaverse and Web3, and what I'm sure these were a large chunk of the discussions in that boardroom about what both companies were viewing as the future of gaming. Gaming has risen to become one of the most important entertainment properties in the world, even more than it was when we were growing up, in the sense that we have these large tournaments. There are people making literal livings from not just making video games, but playing them. This was something we talked about as, could it happen in the future? It's a fantasy, and it's happening now. So
Yeah.
I think that it all ties in together. And this is a move towards crypto, even though it hasn't been announced yet. And it's huge.
Content exists around video games like you potentially wouldn't believe. Like, my son's 10 years old. The content that he consumes, apart from, like, he'll watch like Airbender or something on Netflix, like those shows, it's all YouTube, and it's all around gaming. It's people playing games. It's people building storylines around games. Like, this is everything that they're consuming. It's not traditional media. It's all in gaming. And, like, so when people say the metaverse is already here, it does, because people's, like, studios are basically inside the game. They're playing the game and commentating on it, or being creative with it, or building something in them and whatnot. And, like, this is the content that kids consume. It's not just my kid. Like, this is what kids are doing. So yeah, the creator economy around gaming is going to be huge, and continue to grow. Gaming is going to continue to grow, and a lot of the IP that exists within Activision Blizzard has very nice crossover with NFT potential as well, or crypto pay to earn. Hearthstone is a really big game that they have, and it's a trading card game, right? That, like, is a no brainer that you could integrate NFTs with stuff like that. World of Warcraft is one that always comes up about, could it be a play to earn game? Could you add a liquidity pool to the actual gold pool that exists there? Maybe not. The game wasn't really designed with that in mind, but maybe, something new can come of that. Like, there's a million things that Activision Blizzard's game portfolio could do. Overwatch skins are a huge thing in Overwatch, and we talk about digital ownership. NFTs fit really nicely in there, and maybe Microsoft is a company that, if they're anything like Facebook and probably Apple, but a little bit quieter, is doing, is they're aware of this, and they're going to try and figure out how to sit on top of it for as long as possible. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? I think that this is just the natural progression to where we're going.
Yeah, definitely.
So moving on, we have Bitmex is looking to acquire one of Germany's oldest banks. I'll just do that real quickly. But if you start to see these big crypto exchanges start to buy existing banks, and their pre-existing regulatory structure, and then infuse crypto into it, I think it's going to be a really huge jumpstart into removing a lot of the friction. Walking into your bank and saying, I want to buy some ETH, and rather than them pointing you to the door saying, yes, happily step right up. I think as much as we cringe at the idea of not being the custodial owners of our own keys, it's not a concept that a lot of people are willing and ready to do. So there's potential in that as well. And I think that if this successfully goes through, you're going to start seeing a lot more of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is going to be the trend going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it does seem like the space is ready for any kind of trends that are starting to remove friction, right? Like that's going to be, it's
Period.
here, it exists. People have accepted that it exists. You don't hear the narratives crypto's dead anymore. More so, you just hear the narratives crypto is going to boil the oceans and we're all going to die. But whatever. So this is the trend, and I think it's going to continue to be the trend this year, at least in the wider market of things. I didn't pull that article up. Not much to look at anyways. Last but not least, Walmart is filing to create cryptocurrency and NFTs. This is, I don't know, maybe a metaverse play. Walmart creating a cryptocurrency. Like, I don't know. What do you think? I just have like, I don't care.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have any particular opinions on Walmart creating a cryptocurrency, except I think it's a lot more likely to be approved by regulators than something from Facebook. I know they were trying with
That's
Libra.
right, yeah.
But I think that this is just another, shoe falling and another notch in the belt for a large company that is getting into crypto and Web3. I think that especially the financial aspects of blockchain make a lot more sense for corporations than individuals right now. Individuals don't really have a hard time moving money around. This isn't a problem they need solved right now. And they can move it around cheaper than most crypto transactions. So, DeFi, you're cute and all, but I just don't think you're it right now. It's going to be a few years of JPEGs before the rest of crypto is ready for mass adoption.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to your point about regulators not caring about Walmart as much as Facebook or now Meta creating their own cryptocurrency, I think is spot on. Facebook is a terrifying enough company as it is. Their ability to move the needle on their users and sway narratives and stuff like that. You want to pile a currency that they control on top of it, and that is a scary proposition. And I don't blame regulators for shutting that that down immediately. Walmart definitely has some sway in the world, but not like that. So I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing with this.
Facebook holds more information on the human race than every government and every university combined. They have way too much power that we have ceded to them voluntarily.
Yeah, for sure. It is wild, and one of my favorite things that I've heard is Facebook's biggest source of churn is death. Right? They lose more users every day to death than most platforms actually have in their daily active user base. That just blows my mind. If you want to talk about the scope that this company is, the biggest problem that they have with losing users is them dying. That's absolutely wild. So,
Update. I harvested mine very smoothly for a very low gas fee. Yeah, it was fine. And now I'm going over to Uniswap to turn it into Look.
You don't have to rub it in, man.
I'm updating the public. Don't cope.
I don't know what I did.
I don't know. Well, that's why I said don't do it. Don't do anything again until you send it to.
No, I'll talk to you after the show. I'm actually wondering what the gas limit on your MetaMask is. I wonder if for some reason mine's different.
I'll send you the Etherscan. Yep.
Yeah. It seemed to be related to that kind of error. Okay, let's move on. You participated in the Gap and Kanye drop on Tezos. We didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but I think it was a very, very notable one. The Gap is a pretty accessible fashion line, I guess I would say, or brand rather, but pretty in tune with pop culture as it stands right now, and them teaming up with Kanye to do a drop on the Tezos chain was interesting. Do you want to give us a little bit more information on that?
Sure. This was really fun for me because I actually like both of these properties here, which are Tezos and Gap. I've always been a big fan of Gap. Frank Ape is a legend, by the way, but this drop was on the Tezos blockchain, which is alternative L1. So it's a layer 1 blockchain that they claim is more environmentally focused. Cool. But a lot of artists really like it for its low fees. It's more environmentally friendly. And while I'm traditionally averse to all other coins, for some reason, just by the quality of the art I saw there, I always had a soft spot for Tezos. It had quite the rally over the last summer when they were advertised at a Mets game. They got a huge billboard there, and I remember they popped to $10. It was becoming hot, and I'll tell you the main reason I always liked Tezos was because artists who couldn't afford to go to Ethereum were posting original stuff there. It wasn't where, Solana came in and anyone saw Solana was just like, all right, this is an opportunity for a cash grab with low fees. We'll just copy everything that's on Ethereum or do low quality projects. And while there have been some good ones popping up on Solana recently, and I know that it's skewing, it's starting to move towards quality. Tezos has a ton of good original art, and they also get cool IP like this. This is one thing that these alternative chains like VV or Sweets.io or Tezos get is they get good IP from companies that know their customers aren't going to pay gas fees. So Gap does their first drop ever. One of my overarching theses in this market is as these corporate entities move in, their first set or their first two sets of NFTs are going to be very valuable down the road. These, whether we're talking about Budweiser or Pepsi, there are very large fan bases already built into these products of millions of people who pay thousands, if not millions of dollars for the old memorabilia and merchandise. They're already a built-in collector's market. So the format was they dropped commons one day.
Can I just ask you a question real quick?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. No, is this drop not related to Kanye? Did I just misunderstand that?
Yeah, it's not related to Kanye.
Oh shit! I said that a couple times. My apologies. I know that the Gap did a deal with Kanye, so maybe that's something that's going to come.
Exactly.
I thought this was the one, and then I was looking at it, and I'm like,
trying to figure out how he fits into it. Actually, and I'll tie it back in. But just for a very brief Gap history, last year Kanye West announced he was going to be doing a fashion line with Gap, which took Gap from a dead company that everyone had ignored and a stock price close to $10 to one that is now above 20. It got above 30 at one point, and it's, in my opinion, one of the most exciting retailers going forward. And this is another sign of it because they're very forward thinking. Obviously, they're moving into NFTs. And the drop was basically formatted in a, forge and burn type of format. So the first ones that were released were the commons. There were 10,000 of each. They didn't sell out to the point where you could have bought them right up until the second drop. So the second drop happened, and there were only 250 of each of these rare NFTs. So we all stacked our commons. Now you needed at least 4 commons and 2 rares to forge into one of those multicolor stripe ones you may see up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, which are their epic variety, right? So you had, they call it metallic, I believe. You had to forge your 4 commons and 2 metallics. Now, with only 250 of these, it was a bit of a fast click race to get them. Some lucky AM members were able to check out with 4. I was only able to get 3. Some people only got 2. Some very unlucky people got 1 or none. And the basic premise is now that you've forged with your rares and your commons, this new metallic NFT, you're going to be able to burn it for a Frank Ape limited edition, of which there are 99. The last time I checked, there had been 370 about of the metallics forged. I think 30 of them were up for sale. So about 340 people will be racing, theoretically, for these 99 Frank Ape limited edition NFTs they're going to be releasing. Those are going to be 100 Tezos, which as of right now is about $400. That drop is tomorrow. It will be, while there are no gas wars on this network, it's basically going to be, like I said, a fast click race. once, if you are lucky enough to get this rare NFT by burning one of your metallics, you can then purchase. I think it's actually free. You get a sweatshirt, a limited edition one by Frank Ape. Now, what is everybody going to do with all their NFTs once this is done? Because they left a bunch of these things out there. Well, I believe Gap is going to, and you spoke about Kanye, do this throughout the year. They're going to be releasing more limited edition clothing items, whether it's from other famous designers like Frank Ape or maybe their in-house star, Kanye West. And I think that's going to create an opportunity because we all know the NFT world and we all know that they're not just going to leave these, hundreds and thousands of NFTs that weren't used for the Frank Ape drop out there to just what? They're just there? No, they're going to turn these into mint passes. I'm sure they're going to release more opportunities to mint, burn, forge, get more limited edition clothing items. So those of us that know this is the likely path while it hasn't been announced are going to be able to get in there and probably buy all these NFTs you just saw R2 put on the screen at a fire sale price, as people think, oh, these are useless now, I don't need them. So I still have a bunch of commons. I still have one rare, and I will be looking to ape into more right after the Frank Ape drop, regardless of what happens. I expect Gap to keep releasing these limited edition clothes throughout the year, and using Tezos was a joy. The only thing is you have to get Tezos. So you have to change your ETH, if you're working primarily in ETH, into Bitcoin or USTD. You get it onto Coinbase if you are not in the state of New York, or you can use KuCoin. If you are, you purchase your Tezos, you send it to your Kukai wallet, and then you connect it to the Gap, the nft.gap.com website, which we will link as well. That drop is tomorrow. I know a bunch of Moon Lounge members are going to be going for it. And I'm not only do I like the NFTs here, I love the limited edition hoodie that's there. While it will likely be near impossible, I would try to get two to keep one in whatever box they send and maybe get to wear one. But we will be lucky if we get one with only 99 of these things and at least over 300 people going for it.
I don't hate your odds on that, to be honest with you. But hopefully luck be in your favor better than the orc gods. Sorry to bring it back to that, but you got this, man. You're due. You're due. But no, I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be a good drop. And I was actually thinking about Tezos. It was interesting. I was cleaning out my my old PC a couple of weeks ago and looking through all of the junk that you accumulate in like your downloads folder and shit. And one of them in there was the Tezos ICO white paper that I had downloaded and signed up for and did not participate in. Actually kind of glad that I didn't, because I was just looking at the historical chart all the way back to that. And Tezos surprisingly hasn't done a whole lot in that time. It like ICO'd at like $2 and something cents, and in the in that the short 4-year span is only, I guess, 2x, or I don't know, maybe this is a platform that is ripe for a bit of a takeoff. It's the 50th highest market cap. Yep. And if stuff like this is going on it, maybe a bit undervalued. I don't know. Just thinking out loud here.
I do agree. I'm not huge into coins. I have always wondered about Tezos as an investment. I think this year is its time. Last year, Mana is a great example, right? You had talked about that damn thing basically being the same price for 3 years. That's almost more maddening than something that goes to zero, right?
And like, I was looking at that. I said that it had been the same price for 3 years, and 24 hours later, it just went fucking ballistic. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Oh God. Anyways, no, but yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
yeah, I'm
gonna spend some time just scrolling around on this marketplace. It looks somewhat clean. We've got some people in the chat saying that their Tezos experience was quite pleasant, yourself included. and we tend to be ETH maxis in terms of NFTs and the network on this show and in Alpha Mint. Um, but it's hard to ignore some platform that's getting the attention from like the Gap. And I mean,
Hmm.
honest to God, if Kanye ever dropped an NFT on Tezos, it's I don't want to say game over for it. I mean, it's the other
Yeah.
way. It's boom. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Tezo
Right.
go
Right.
boom.
Right.
So
So yeah.
keep going.
No. 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 I was just gonna say. I did it. I did it on one of my wallets. I did turn the WETH into 191 looks. I am staking it right now. I will just say that on $860 in looks, I paid $200 in transactions. So I'll probably be doing that once a month instead of. Well, I
Mhm.
won't go do it in my other wallets right now. I think I'll wait till the end of the month to do that. But I loved. This is what, if you are bullish about this platform, I would do. I just collected all my WETH very easily. I just turned it into looks and I just staked it. So done
Oh,
and
we're
done.
back on LooksRare. Yeah, I was just
Oh, I'm
scrolling
sorry.
around Tezos. No, that's fine. I was just
Yeah, Tezos is
I
great.
look, Basky punks, like these are not the worst looking punk derivative I've ever
I will
seen.
drop some Tezos art for you privately. That will blow your mind, but
Oh.
I refuse to put it publicly because I don't need Orca to go to buy them all before I can.
All right, let's move on. I think the biggest topic of yesterday was the Beanie I don't know, what do you want to call it? Scandal, controversy,
Unmasking?
unmasking, doxing, whatever.
Coming out
Uh
party?
Beanie is in a precarious situation, I suppose. But he has been
His
in them in the
propeller
past.
went counterclockwise yesterday, everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, there's a lot of allegations being thrown around, and I just want to highlight the fact that these are allegations. They are being, put out by people who I don't know personally, and I don't know Beanie personally. So do all signs point to a lot of shady behavior? And if there's smoke coming from the gun, is there a bullet somewhere? Probably. I guess I don't want to fling too much poo around. I'll let you do that. I know you've got some strong feelings on this.
I think that he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think people kept wanting him to be a sheep, and he took that. That was removed from him. Yes, I don't really know what to say about it. Obviously, like, this is both shocking and not a surprise. I think that would be the only way I could summarize this. Um, while everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and this is all allegedly speaking, and we are not, you know, convicting anybody here on this show. This evidence is pretty damning, and given what
Yeah.
I read, I would never want to interact with, do business with, or have dinner with this person who just, they call themselves a troll. I call them a scumbag. And I think they've not only demonstrated that behavior in public for years now, but we can see that it was not an act, and they have displayed this in their private lives as well. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Team Pranksy for life. Bye bye, Beanie.
Yeah, I mean it'll be fun to at least watch what happens with this. This is a very, very in-depth breakdown of all of the issues and stuff that seem to be plaguing Beanie and surrounding it. Pixel Vault, Gfunk did put out a statement that Beanie is no longer affiliated with Pixel Vault. That's a pretty damning sign for that brand to kind of turn their back on Beanie as well. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a shame. You brought up a good point with the Monkey Bet and all of these other projects that he's been a part of. And there might be a point in time, especially with the blockchain being public ledger and all of that stuff, that the detectives put everything together, and we find out that there was a very small group or groups of people sitting at the top of these ecosystems, kind of pulling the strings on a bunch of projects and really just kind of funneling all of the money upwards to them. Monkey Bet definitely seems to be a point of that, which is I hate that I have anything to do with that project, and I continue to lament myself for not selling a long time ago. But whatever. Yeah, this is a big one. I mean, does he bounce back from that? I have no idea. Does he have evidence that this isn't all true? We'll let him throw that out there to decide. We've seen Art Chick go through a bunch of stuff. I don't think on this level, but bounce back, I think somewhat successfully, although it doesn't seem as prevalent anymore. But it's hard because there's so many people that have staked their financial successes and failures around the Beanie brand. And my biggest thing is I don't want to see other people get hurt from this, and there will be blood sometimes, as they say. Wolf Game, kind of his biggest one, isn't really struggling that much from it, but I mean, it definitely, the floor dropped from, I think it was like 1.7 to yesterday when we were looking at it, down to 1.3. I mean, that's still doing incredible for what it was, but I don't know. What's the way out here? What do you think the aftermath of this ends up being?
I think that he's a scourge on NFTs and the industry, and the quicker that he disappears, the better. Shub said when Beanie DAO, and Drip Cult did point out that already launched. It had its pump yesterday. It was called Charles DAO, as that is Beanie's real name. He's a fucking con artist. There's just no way to mince words about it. And he walked into the perfect industry where you're allowed to be pseudonymous and where you could run the easiest fucking scams human beings have ever conceived. It was a perfect atmosphere for him, and he thrived. And it's good that he's been sussed out, and he needs to go away. Bye bye, Beanie.
Yeah. Do you think there ends up being legal repercussion for this? I don't know if he's American or what the, I guess,
No
regional
idea.
jurisdiction is, but
I wish no
yeah,
ill will on him. I wish no ill will on anybody involved in any of this. The best thing to do for everybody is just move on with their lives. If you have some sort of financial and legal recourse against this man, pursue it to the full extent. Otherwise, I want this snake to go away.
yeah, I think a big theme will start to be accountability as well, even just like in our own kind of actions. Like, we saw the kind of cabal of the 3D profile picture animals that all have very, very similar stylings to them. And they had a lot of success on one of their projects, and they are just pumping them out now. And I think that when I say accountability, I think it's, as the market becomes more and more efficient and intelligent, there will be accountability on these projects, in the sense that they stop minting out. We stop giving them money because they are not putting it back into the NFT ecosystem. That is funneling it out.
Nope. And I just hope this doesn't reflect on a lot of the people close to Beanie, like Tropo Farmer, who I believe is a good person. And I believe Beanie was only good to Tropo Farmer. And this is what con artists do. There are people they keep close to them, that they do things for, that they keep favorable, that they have people on their side that are just as bewildered by these things when the evidence actually comes out. So I just want to say that I think that a lot of the people who've been close to Beanie, like Hunter and Tropo, had nothing to do with any of this. They should not be lumped in with it. Even if you read all of these threads, it has nothing to do with any of that. And we all know this is a pseudonymous business, right? You can make a friend on here that knows nothing about you, and you could talk to them for a year and they still know absolutely nothing, right? So I just want to, shout out to the people close to Beanie who are getting flack today, who don't deserve it, because this scumbag is pulling a lot of people into his spiral right now. It's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, guilty by association does sometimes extend a little bit farther than needed, because there's a really, really reasonable chance that someone like Tropo did not know all of the stuff going on behind the scenes. And, there's a
Any.
reasonable chance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I think there's been enough smoke around Beanie that, there should be some. I don't know. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, you're
When
right.
it's your
That's
friend,
fair.
you're
I'm
you.
not putting any allegations on
No,
Tropo. I'm
I
just
feel you.
saying, like, yeah,
What
you're
I
right.
think is
You're right.
just that when it's your friend and he's telling you, like, these people just hate me, it's because we're doing so well. It's the haters. That's it. You believe your friend. You give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't knock Tropo for that. I really don't think that he was ever involved with any of this like more egregious stuff Beanie's being accused of. So just want to say that.
Yeah, who was the one that they someone came out and said, like, with success comes a lot of haters, but the one person that nobody seems to hate was that Pac.
Pac, I don't know.
Pac, I don't know.
I don't
Okay.
know, man. He fucking talk about cash grabs. He does he pulls in like $300 million a drop and then goes away for 4 months. Like, oh, here's a new like. Don't worry, you're not going to get this price. It's the Emperor Wears New Clothes with Pac. It's like you only get this project if you're smart and cool, right? You got to. Otherwise, you don't get it. You don't get it. This is a very appealing, the very effective sales pitch. I love Pac. I'm just, and I also love Tupac. Thug
Too-
Life.
it's the wrong coast for you, man. You got to be Biggie ride or die.
Oh,
No?
that beef died a long time. But we love the West Coast and we love the East Coast. Biggie ride or die.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Biggie on the side of that.
Mm.
Honestly, yeah. No disrespect to any of the Pac fans out there, but
Biggie was the best lyricist of all time.
yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that too much.
Big L is right there too, but his
Big
career was
L
cut
is
short.
incredible one. There's a lot of great names. I was always a big Nas fan. Nas is one of my
He was just on a Spaces for an NFT launch the other day with
yeah.
Baroque. Yeah, I hopped in for a second.
Perfect unplanned segue into music and NFTs. WarpSound dropped yesterday, doing all right around 0.4 floor. I didn't get into too much exploration with this, but I love the concept that it is like a hybrid of a generative profile picture plus AI generated music loops and whatnot. This is really cool. I wish I'd kind of gotten in on this now, but distractions abound. I think that they look really good, and I think that you are going to see a music trend really start to pop off eventually here. It seems ripe for the picking. It's music and NFTs are seemingly a match made in heaven as well, the way that they work. And yeah, here we are looking at WarpSound and talking about Nas being involved in NFTs.
Yeah, and I think that one of the two trends that I've talked about this year, as far as particular niches within NFTs, are photography and music, and I think they're the sneakier, higher potential risk reward because the gaming meta is very obvious, right? And I've
Yeah.
learned that the obvious meta in its first year it's supposed to go big is so obvious it actually gets a smaller return than a few niche things. And I think those two niche things are going to be photography and music. This is an interesting concept and project, but I expect really, really big names in music like Nas to start doing some very interesting things with their catalogs. And I know a lot of fans that would be very interested in that type of stuff. And also to photography. One of my best friends, who was the best man at my wedding, is one of the most famous hip hop photographers in the world. And I know people have been clamoring to get some of his Biggie photos in NFT form. So I think you're going to see this in a huge way this year. And I think, hardware has been an impediment, but also people like, what do you do with a music NFT? I think there's going to be some very innovative presentations and ways that these music NFTs move. So really interested to see how it develops. These aren't like I can't even begin to conceive necessarily what they're going to do. I love the idea. Like, think about what the Australian Open is doing, right? Could that be done with concert seats? Is there something to be done in that respect? I think musicians and consultants like Gary Vayner are getting together in rooms, and they're going to come up with some really appealing stuff for fans. I think we know the most appealing thing when you're a fan of a musician or a band is access, right? And whether that type of access is in a chat room like a gated Discord, or whether that type of access is into their personal life, like what are their hobbies? What do they do on the week? Like that type of stuff. This is what fans crave. And I think NFTs are just a perfect way to deliver that to them. So excited to see what happens here this year.
Yeah. Access is a huge one for sure. I'm almost thinking like to go back to the early BitClout days when we started saying, oh, like imagine being able to invest in the early days of somebody and they end up getting really big and you can kind of participate in the financial success of them, or have that access if you own so much of their coin, which is kind of what BitClout was all about. But for a semi small band, if NFTs are in the more general public, like people are comfortable with the idea of buying NFTs and using NFTs. If tickets start being NFTs for sporting events and concerts and whatnot, you could see a small band or artist or musician or someone put out an NFT on their first album drop, and you can own a percentage of that album. Now they get some funding because you're buying it from them, and they can kind of help their career thrive because maybe they get some marketing, maybe they can hire a better sound editor, maybe they can afford better studio time, even just a van to transport themselves around and whatnot. And if that artist ever gets big and those songs get discovered as like their first EP or something like that, and you own a part of it and you own part of the royalties to it, I mean that could be something that blows up for you as well and pays you in perpetuity, right? Like there's tons of oh, what's that?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What did I say?
No, nothing. Sorry, no, I was going to say that. Or what if the first 3 rows of every show you did for the rest of your career were sold as an NFT? So now your biggest fans could buy the first 3 rows of every show you ever did, and then any show they couldn't make, they could either lend it to a friend or rent it out on your platform. All right. And
Brilliant. Yeah.
you could even attach, other perks to these ads. This would be the ultimate fan club in which you own the first 3 rows of anything this performer ever does. I mean, and this took 3 minutes for me to conceive, and there are very, very talented people in a room doing this all day. So I really expect some fun stuff this year. This is the year of mass adoption. I couldn't be more bullish. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah, and this stuff is coming. I mean, we saw Timbaland partner up with Bored Apes for a music production company under that umbrella, and I mean, essentially, Bored Apes are a membership club in and of themselves, as are a bunch of these different these NFTs, right? So it's already happening, and it's just a matter of time before people realize the power in which they can hold and the agency they can hold over their own brand once they start to adopt these things. So music trend is it has to happen. I can't tell you when it's going to happen. Maybe something like WarpSound and the success that it's having right now is going to kick off a little trend here. I'm not sure, but it's inevitable.
Yep.
Cool, man.
Universe.
Last thing. What?
You said cool, man. I said universe.
Oh, nice. Yeah, grab that. How's that doing? Had a nice little run up to over an ETH and then cooled down again.
Just killing me. You're killing me, Market. What are you doing here?
Yeah, whatever. So it's all good.
No, it isn't. I want to see a manager.
All right. Empire Stapleverse drop kind of didn't go well yesterday, and they've kind of reimagined how it's going down. There's a raffle. Either you got in or you didn't, and you get to mint one of these. How'd you do?
Well, I've been a fan of Just Staple for a while, so I was dedicated to gas warring these things. It was going to be my first mint since I forced myself to take some time off. So I was ready at 12 noon yesterday. when the site crashed and we got a Discord notification that they were pushing it to 2 p.m., where we saw the same thing happen again. After that one, they pushed it back to 7 p.m., and we all congregated once again on the VC to go for our staple NFT. There were, I want to say, about 2,000 left. The website could not handle the traffic, so they decided to turn it into a raffle. Anybody who had connected their wallet and email and signed up for the site was entered in a raffle for the last 2,000. So that Excel spreadsheet is available in their Discord, and I believe someone will repost it in the general chat as well. You can go check to see if you got this. It is an instant free half ETH if you did, as it is a 0.1 mint, and they are selling right now at 0.6 around on the secondary. Jeff Staples is a famous designer and artist who I became very familiar with because of his collaboration with Artifact. And when I learned he was doing his own drop, this felt like just one of those instant cooks. You know, I talk a lot about this also being the year of known artists. And there are certain artists that just have the cachet to
Yeah, no, you got it right that time. Yeah, you're good.
to pull off drops like this that are kind of instant cooks just based on their name alone. So we will see that anybody. Congratulations if you got on this list. I didn't. That will be at 12 noon today if you did, for anyone who won that raffle.
Yeah, so minting at 0.1, and it's 0.6 right now, and I gotta believe after that, after the raffle and people are trying to get in, that we'll see some good activity on the secondary pre-reveal after the fact. So nothing wrong with that if you manage to get a whitelist spot, or I guess a raffle spot, and even if you sold, clean up with a nice little $1,600.
Not 2,500.
Yeah, I know it's weird. Yeah, adjusting to the times, I guess. So why is Lucas making fun of me for being Canadian in the DGen dojo? I guess got pinged on something. Oh, freaking right, bud. We're gonna just take these old NFTs out for a rip there, eh?
You were out playing hockey on an ice pond over the weekend. This was like, I was like, oh my god, could you
so on brand. Guys, the restream link, if you want to jump up on stage with us for the Q&A session, is up now. If you want to, shoot the shit, ask us a question, ask anything, it is in the AM show chat in the Discord. So hop in there if you want. But yeah, as Free Market mentioned, out on playing some pond hockey very, very casually, and I was very, very sore for the next few days, as to just highlight how out of shape I've become during this pandemic.
Jealous. Looked like you were in Saskatoon.
It was a lot of fun, actually. It was a really, really nice day. Good day with the family, and drinking some hot cocoa by the fire, and ripping some hockey sticks, eh, bud?
Jesus.
No, it was good. It was a lot of fun. So definitely, I might try and pick that up a little bit more, and
sweet.
Yeah, go skating. It's good exercise, actually. So extra butter now exists in its place. Just looking at the chat. Cool. Looking at the day ahead, what have you been looking at? What are you scoping out? What do you got going on?
Well, it was there were two things that were the Jeff Staples thing, which I am no longer participating in, unfortunately. Raid Party, okay. These guys are heating up, all right. They now have over 50,000 in the Discord, I believe close to 40,000 on Twitter, and they are announcing partnership after partnership. They announced Forgotten Wizard runes. They announced kaijus, they announced Anonymice, and now yesterday they announced Ether Orcs, which, this is a pretty much seal of approval, because when you're doing an on-chain game, a lot of people, the first thing they said when they saw Raid, are you guys like Ether Orcs? What's the deal? Are you, and they were all, we respect Ether Orcs, we love what they're built, but we're different for these reasons, and da-da-da. And it is great to see Ether Orcs hop on with the partnership. I bill this as one of the most exciting drops of this first quarter. And yeah, they announced that partnership yesterday, so that was exciting. Get in that Discord if you haven't. I think they just started talking about ways that you could get on that allow list, so go check that out. You got Stapleverse at noon. I'm also going to be watching the Gap page that we pulled up for you, which is the object marketplace. I want to see if maybe some people, like right now, you can get the metallic collector special for 138 Tezos, but the metals that you need to create one of these are all selling at 110, 115, 120. It makes no sense because you need two of them to create a metallic, and it's because people who got in early and were able to just create them with the original ones they bought were able to make these metallics for 20 Tezos. So they're trying to get out with their 7X right now, which is an opportunity. If you have, like, I have an extra metal right now. If somebody is crazy enough, oh my God, someone bought it. Just as I'm speaking to you. This is action, live action here on the show, people.
Someone bought somebody. What? One of your.
Listen, now listen to this arbitrage. Okay, I'm doing this live on the show. This is very interesting. Exactly what I was describing to you. I had an extra metal, okay? You need 2 metals to create a metallic special edition. I would have had to spend a minimum of 110 Tezos to get another one of these metals and then forge it with 4 of my commons and that other one. I just sold one of my metals for 120. So now I only need another 18 Tezos to create this metallic collector's special. So when you're asking what I'm watching today, these arbitrage opportunities are presenting itself as people have very different goals here. The guy who made a metallic collectors for 20 is really happy to get out of there with his 7X. But all the guys out there who have an extra metal know that the people out there with one metal are willing to pay up to try to create their own for a slightly cheaper price than they could buy one. So this is really interesting. And right now, I am headed on over to buy this other metallic edition. Very exciting.
We've lost you to the Tezos chain.
Yep.
It's all over. True. Start the alphabet Tezos arm.
Mm-hmm. Wow, no, so cool.
I wonder that happened. I wonder if like some of these chains have like different subsets of people on it. I mean, I gotta believe that while there's lots of people that participate in all of the ecosystems, like are there just people that are just focusing on Solana, just focusing on Tezos?
I don't think right now there's enough action. I think collectors. Okay, so what originally drew me to Tezos was that there are a few collectors who I trust implicitly because I had learned a lot from them early on by following what they do. That got really excited about a couple artists on Tezos. And I had just always assumed these guys were ETH maxis based on their purchase history, the way they talked. And it made me go, you know what? Let me just go see what this is about, right? Let me see what's happening here. And I went and I checked out the art. I loved it. I noticed that it wasn't just facsimiles of what you see on Ethereum. So I know for a fact there are some high net worth collectors that spend a lot of money on the Tezos chain. Is there enough juice to trade there right now? I don't believe so. I'm not even sure if there's enough on Solana. I mean, we hear about the high profile drops and stuff that happen, but is there enough daily vol on the collections over there? May be. I'm asking right now because I don't think there is on Tezos based on everything I've seen. So yes, there are collectors that spend a lot of money on this chain. I'm not sure if it has close to the atmosphere that ETH has right now.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be in a little bit more of a casual sense that people are doing it. I don't know. Like, I find Ethereum so hard to just keep up with on its own. Yeah. We do a pre-show every single day, and I would say at least half the time we're like, where do we even start? Especially with kind of the runs that we've been on, So to throw Tizo stuff. Obviously, something like the Gap is a big enough thing to warrant getting in there and trying some stuff out. But I mean, did you end up minting something on Solana as well, or just you got stuck
No.
holding a bag of Solana?
No, I had been given one of the most important, well, I had been offered one of the most important whitelists that ever came out on Solana. It was like instantly a 20x or, whatever. I hesitated because I'm pretty anti Solana. And by the time I said, you know what? Screw it. It's free. They're literally trying to hand me free money. Why would I say no? It was too late. The allow list was full. This was the Catalina whale mixer, which, while I'm not the hugest fan of the art, I find the name very enjoyable. So I thought that's such a clever name. You guys are winners. But
and where is that now? How did that end up doing? Do you remember the price details of it?
Well, I was told
I'm gonna pull it up now.
Sure, yeah, bring it up. I was told that this was the Bored Apes of Solana, and people like whatever. This ended
I'm not
up
seeing it. Yeah, okay.
It ended up being, as far as I knew, one of the biggest cooks, with the exception of those like first two projects. What were they called? Those like Soul Monkeys, and I don't know. There was one other thing that did Degen Apes, I think, did okay on there. But these were billed as being the next big thing. They did seem to be the next big thing based on the cook they had afterwards. But yeah, I missed out. I have $600 in Soul. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
I'm just I'm waiting for
Oh, this isn't the right. I'm on like a wrong thing. There's only 20. Oh, see, I have no familiarity with this marketplace. 20 listed out of 5,555. That seems crazy. There's only 20 owners. What am I looking at here? Am I doing this wrong?
You're going down a rabbit hole right now, a whale hole. Don't go into the whale hole.
Yeah, this doesn't. Don't. Yeah, great advice for anybody listening. No whale holes. I don't know. Catalina whale mixer. Am I looking at? Fuck, I don't know. You're the Sol Maxi here. Help me out. If I'm on the right one. Is this the marketplace?
It is. Yeah. That's it. I have no idea what the what like the underlying dynamics of this website or how.
So you're telling me that less than 1% of this is listed?
It's the Bored Apes of Soul, baby.
Like, people are just like, the people hodling these into the stratosphere.
You have to understand how implicitly I look up to and trust the person who told me this, because you know what it takes for me to do something like buy Solana, right? So I when he told me it was the Bored Apes, I believed him. And I still kind of believe whatever this is going to be very successful long term. So.
Okay. Wait. Okay, so you do or don't own one of these?
I don't. Remember, I was too late.
Yeah.
I was
I didn't know if you aped in after.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for another. No, I have I'm not gonna go learn the secondary there. If someone throws me, and honestly, I probably would have sold at like 5 or 10x. I wouldn't have held.
I've got a bunch of people telling me to check Magic Eden. What does that even mean? What are we talking about here? The price of Magic?
Oh, baby. Let me pull that up. Let's go. Let's go.
No, we're good. Is this it? Is this what we're doing?
What?
God
damn it. I thought it was pull it up. It's good. Let's pull it up.
Oh, it's dumping?
Yeah, magic dump, like, almost.
Is this what you guys
40%.
wanted? Is this what you degens wanted me to show? Is just pain and suffering on screen here?
Let me see. Small bodies. I mean, that's not even that bad. It's I'll tell you. If you're going to hold Magic, you hold these underlying NFT. Like, they are following Magic. If Magic fell what looks to me to be over 30% in the last day, and these small bodies have risen enough in Magic terms that they're maybe down 10%. These are not only leveraged bets on Magic, these seem to be hedges against Magic as well.
Oh, I'm being told, man, we have a ton of Sol Maxis in the chat, I guess. I'm being told that Magic Eden is the Solana marketplace. I swear, I promise, I'm not that much of a boomer. I just I have almost no experience with Solana.
Yeah, we don't know anything about Solana, though.
Someone give me a good project to check out on here.
As far as I can tell, these Catalina whales are the tits. So grab yourself one if you're on that soul chain.
Tits. All right,
tits, baby. Pull that quote for the TikTok today. Kids will like it.
Is that not on?
I know Gen Z, baby. Hello, fellow kids.
I see their search function is just as good as OpenSea's.
You know whose search function is next fucking level? No. That would be that LooksRare.org, sir.
Is it works? You don't just get a million fake ones before?
Boom. Always the right collection, instant pop-up. Always the right, the rest of their UX is junk right now, but that search function, please. They got search and token right. Do they need to do anything else?
I gotta zoom in as far as I can on this, because if there's one thing that I love, I won't even let me zoom in any further. Magic Eden. Okay. Sure. They have floor price listed here, which we all hate. Average sale price in the last 24 hours. Like, thank you. Please, OpenSea or LooksRare, whatever. Put this on there. It's so much more relevant. Like, the floor price is just not necessary, right? Like, I think we're in agreement in that.
Yeah.
It especially on OpenSea, where it just gets stuck all the time and people just get wrecked because they don't actually check the activity and see that, the floor is, sometimes twice as high or more than what it's being listed, and they're just listing it below. It's ridiculous. It's one of the biggest things that I cannot believe that they just either don't fix or just switch it to average last sale price, or just take it off. I don't care. It's brutal. Yeah, chat is going crazy. Awesome. Thank you.
Did that really just sell? Oh,
yeah. See, I'm getting called a boomer now. Thank you, Milo. I appreciate that a lot.
No, Milo, you're dead accurate. Don't listen to him.
I'm the boomer.
Yes.
We were talking about video games. You're like, I've heard of Call of Duty once. I played that back in the 90s.
I know, that's a boomer game. The kids have totally different games now.
They've moved on. Yeah. What do you?
Just showing your boomerness.
You know what? We should put together an Alpha Mint gaming night. That would be pretty fun.
I know people have been asking for that.
Yeah. You know what? We should do like a live stream one where we all play a specific games or not. What would you guys want to play if you did that? I know
Among Us is always talked about.
Among Us, okay. That was so last year.
Oh, you are hip. Look at you.
No. Well, what was it? Becker's been talking a lot about this too, about the power of gaming influencers and stuff like that, taking Among Us from relative obscurity into one of the biggest sensations of the past 2 years, and how important crypto gaming, streamers, content creators are going to be, basically saying that gaming content is going to be the highest paid job in the world in pretty short order, which I honest to God wouldn't be surprised if there's already people that are rivaling Ninja, one of the Fortnite streamers. That dude was making like $30-40 million a year with sponsorships and partnerships, Twitch partnerships, shit like that, like just incredible amounts of money. So little tangent there, but I've been liking where Becker's been at lately, especially when it comes to critters.
Yes, Becker, marketing major turned secret cabal runner.
Is that what it is? I don't know much about him. Like, I've just been, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole. I've just heard him talk about some stuff, and it made sense to me.
He's a genius.
Yeah. You're going very quiet there. I'll leave that alone. All right. Anything else that you want to talk about before we start wrapping this up? I think we got a pretty solid hour and a half in there.
Yes. Let me see. I shall go through my allow lists. I just want to make sure that our beautiful audience doesn't miss anything too important today. I don't see anything, so maybe you guys are going to have to tell us if there's any mints you're watching. I'm obviously going to watch with jealous rage at that Stapleverse mint. And yeah, that's it. I staked my looks. I've already made $4.21. Hey, since then, and life is
you were
good.
one penny off of a
I
pretty solid shout out
I was
there.
gonna get the screenshot.
You could have just
too. I
rounded
looked
down,
I
man. You just round down.
I would
wouldn't have known.
never. I would never lie to my public, my adoring, adoring public. I love you.
I just threw up in my mouth. When's the Azuki reveal? I actually just realized that we haven't seen that yet. I've seen people posting their red beans all over the place.
Are we sure it's not just the red beans?
Yeah, that's the NFT. This is
One ETH bean. I'm just waiting for Banksy. You know, he's gonna do something like this. You're gonna buy something you think is something, and it's gonna turn into something a lot less. This is his strategy.
The 20th is what I'm seeing on the Twitter.
The 20th of January, right?
Well, I sure hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. I get worried sometimes. These reveals, they can last.
Man, oh yeah. 2.7 floor. Lots of, oh my god, $13,000 13,000 ETH in volume traded. That's wild. I guess
considering they brought in about $30 million on the mint, that's not bad.
Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves. Metroverse, Hapes tomorrow. Hape Beast is tomorrow.
Is Hape Beast tomorrow?
Yeah.
That is a very, very interesting case study to me, as I could very much see it popping this realistic 3D meta, as it is so hyped, so anticipated to be an easy win in. Now, again, are these all like in the shadows? The only previews I've seen, it looks like all these apes are like in the shadows and lurking. I have no idea what's going on here. I don't think anyone wants to wear these as their PFP. Are they all going to look like that? Tell me they're all going to look like that.
I mean, if this is the color scheme, it's going to be a disaster.
This is a disaster.
But no, I don't.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. It looks like they're varied or whatever.
But like, looking across the team here. Thank you so much.
I'm just very perplexed as to whether, I don't think people want these hyper realistic 3D avatars to represent them in their PFP, number one, and number two, everyone says this is a famous artist, and I have tried to find out who this famous artist is. Maybe somebody can tell me, but as far as I can tell,
famous artist.
Yeah, well, that's my point. As far as I can tell,
Warner Brothers. No, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, I'm famous because I once had a job at Disney or something like that. So I hope anybody who is involved in this makes oodles of money, but I think that it's interesting. It will be interesting to see how the market receives this, because I'm very skeptical as to whether these are actually popular or whether all this hype has just been manufactured. I think this looks like one of those popular on Instagram collections.
So this is the artist Twitter, Digimental. He's a Bored Ape, apparently. About 80,000 followers. Don't know if that's just by extension of the Hape Beast hype beast.
This guy is not a known artist, everybody. Like, you have to, when we talk about known artists, we're talking about people like Murakami. We're talking about people like Jeff Staples, okay? These people have
Cool Man Coffee Dan.
Right? Seriously, Cool Man Coffee Dan. This guy, his work is fabulous. I'm not knocking the quality of his work. We're talking, NFTs are a lot more than the artwork. The artwork is super important, and I hate when people say it's not about the art, yet at the same time, a project and its success is about a lot more than it. The art here looks very good and very high quality, but I just, they're acting like this is a very, very famous art. If this were a famous artist, his name would be all over the project. It would be the only thing you saw all over the website. This looks like a complete rip of Hape Beast, which is like the hype boy platform they all use to shop. It seems like a very classic, slick marketing, kind of, as people say, pump and dump. I'm very skeptical here, though. Like I said, I'm not fudding this. I just hope anybody involved gets out with some money. I'm fudding kind of this whole realistic 3D meta by quote unquote famous artists, which I think is a sham.
Okay, so I do think that like some of the stuff that I'm seeing on this guy's Twitter definitely looks a lot better than just the vibe that they've got going on. I don't know, man. These actually look kind of good. This is like the animation's pretty quality and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, I will say this. I completely agree with you in the sense that like this is going to be probably a tipping point or a turning point for the meta that we're in now. It is that kind of like culmination of hype for 3D NFT, ape derivative, hyper realistic kind of stuff going on, and I think that this is going to do really well on mint and pre-reveal. I think it's going to, you know, the tale is going to be told after the reveal. That sounds super obvious, but yeah, again, when you throw these all up on a screen, like, these are just curated ones that they're showing you, right? That they like.
They're the best ones. Always remember.
Yeah. But like, you know, if all of the commons look like this, they're pretty good. There's some variety to them, but like. There's something about it that needs a little bit more pop to it, but I don't know. I'm going to be watching this closely. No skin in the game on this one.
No layman.
I think it's going to tell us a lot about the market.
And no layman's going to be able to tell the difference between this and Prime Apes and the PFP bubble. You're not going to know it's a different collect. Yes, to anybody who is even slightly more sophisticated with a trained eye, maybe they can look. But a PFP bubble is a quick signal to somebody who you are. That is why bold, simple lines work. When you write your name down on a piece of paper, do you create some giant, intricate artwork around it so that people have to search and find your name? No, it's bold, it's simple, and it's easy to see. And that's the issue here, is that all these hyper realistic 3D projects are going to be so similar in the PFP bubble. No one in the public is going to be able to tell the difference. And these are important. It's important to flex. You know, the new iPhone every year, when it launches in China, if it looks too similar to the previous year's iPhone, it flops. Because the whole reason people are buying an iPhone in China is to show it off. They want people to see that they have the new iPhone. So when Apple changes the camera array or it's a slightly different shape on the body, that phone tends to sell a lot more. These things are about appearance. This is a fashion item. And all these fashion items that look flashy, but they're really not high quality, I don't think it's going to do well. Maybe it'll prove me wrong. I don't trust my predictions recently, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if this does really well, I think it'll be like completely game on. It's like the Groundhog Day thing, you know. Like, I think that it's going to be a pretty good sign that NFTs are going to be super strong in the short term too. I don't know though. I think that the meta that CloneX kind of kicked off with that the 3D stuff is starting to wear out a little bit. I think. Well, we talked about it. Did we talk about it on the show? Like, you know, the Prime Ape Planet dropped, and now all of a sudden, like a couple days after the reveal, they're promoting Prime Gorillas or something like that. Prime Kongs. And like, you look at the eyes, and it's like it's the same thing, and they've just kind of like built a new frame over the personality of it. Their expressions are kind of the same, right? And then I saw something that was like lions, that was like the exact same thing, and it's just like these people are just pumping this shit out, you know, like it's just like, how much money are we going to keep feeding them? So,
and there are two things people think about the NFT market, right? The first two things that pop into their head are environmentally unfriendly and 3D slick new anime. You know, like when people picture 3Ds, they're not necessarily thinking of 2D simple photos, right? They're thinking like, oh, these are the design graphic artists that make everything look like pink flamingo, electric sex on the screen. And that was kind of your typical NFT if you go back to 2 years ago, right? So I think that that's why people are tricked into buying these. They don't necessarily think of an NFT as a flat, simple 2D image. They think of this like hyper slick new technology where everything is 3D and holographic. So I think that's another reason these are very popular on things like Instagram, but to the true NFT community, they don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Well, I think we were about to wrap up the show, and then kind of got into that, which is great. I'm thrilled with adding that into the mix too. So watch out for Hate Beast tomorrow. Last thing I want to say about it is just that somebody mentioned that the Discord has 500,000 members. That, to me, if I'm just going to be completely honest with you, at that point just doesn't mean anything anymore. Like, I don't know, something about the Discord numbers and the way that engagement contests and stuff have happened, and just how many Discord accounts the individual person has to try and get in there. Those numbers seem so inflated to me. So unless you're talking about like Nike's Discord or Adidas's Discord or the Gap's Discord, where they're really bringing in tons of people into the space and building a online metaverse community around their already existing brand, like 500,000 people in that. Like, what is OpenSea's daily active users? 200,000, maybe a bit more in this high volume. Like, it's just not real, you know. Those there's no meat to that number. I would rather walk into a Discord that has 10,000 members that are having a great time, or even less than that, a la, Little Lemon Friends, which is one of the reasons why you were so bullish on this pre-mint for months, is just because Cenarius cultivated, we use the word community so much, like 500,000 people that are, I'll be right there. 500,000 people that are in there. That's not a community, right? That's just some accounts that are spamming and hoping to get on a raffle list or a pre-sale list and all of that stuff. But like, yeah, look, 10K members with 8K online in there, engaging, talking, being excited about stuff, sharing their discoveries about it, and theorizing about stuff. Like, that's a lot of fun. But yeah, 500,000 members, that's not happening in that. I mean, if I jump in there and I'm wrong, but there's just not even that many people actively engaging in NFTs right now. So that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that.
All right. If you don't have anything else, you're good. We're good. Good. All right. We are going to wrap up the show today. I appreciate everyone turning out. Great turnout today. Really fun show. The chat was going crazy. I love seeing people ask questions in there, bringing them up on screen and kind of just engaging with the conversation too. FMC, I'm going to have to get you set up in some way so that you could actually type in there and have some fun with it too. I forgot that you mentioned that to me yesterday.
Yeah, I can't type, and I'll try to answer questions as I see them float by. But yeah.
Cool. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, I appreciate everyone turning up. Again, I'll just do the obligatory. If you enjoyed the show and you're new here, make sure to jump into the Alpha Mint Discord. It is an incredible place. Even just the free stuff is going to be worth your time, and people floating around there. But if you jump up into the Moon Lounge, it's an absolutely incredible experience. And our community has just had so many big wins in the last few months that it's insane. Also, if you are listening and you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button on the live video that you got right now. It does just help us out a little bit, and we want to keep growing this and growing our community with no air quotes around the word community. So I appreciate everyone, and it's a lot of exciting stuff to come in the weeks ahead. So Free Market, you want to take us out of here?
Good luck at the tables, DJ.